From a dramatic overboard rescue to Royal Caribbean's bold casino choice and frustrating overbookings, this week's cruise news is packed with plenty of twists. Ahoy, travelers! It's Amy here with your weekly cruise news roundup and my thoughts on some of the biggest stories of the week. Whether or not cruise ships should have a casino is a debate I've seen more than once. One faction thinks that they're a waste of space, while the other spends the bulk of their time on a cruise ship in the casino, and they want more space and more options. Then there's the debate between those who want a smoking casino area and those who are tired of coming out of the casino smelling like an old ashtray. Well, one ship has decided to make one of those groups very happy. Royal Caribbean's Explorer of the Seas is undergoing a transformation to expand its casino, closing several onboard venues to make room. In an announcement, the line stated, "The Golden Room non-smoking casino will close June 22nd and reopen on July 13th as part of the expanded non-smoking casino space on Deck 4. During the construction period, the conference centers will be unavailable for guests." The ship, currently in dry dock in Cadiz, Spain, will expand its casino by taking over spaces like the former library, card room, and the living room teen lounge. The library and card room are going to be relocated to the conference center, which I'm actually surprised about because a lot of ships are getting rid of their libraries, unfortunately. While a new teen lounge is being created in the Adventure Ocean space. This move reflects a broader trend among cruise lines to boost revenue through those larger casinos, as US-based cruise lines make a lot of money off of gamblers. We went on MSC in Europe, and I never saw anybody in the casino. It was deader than a doornail, but you go on a US-based cruise line, that thing is packed. Now, we have also seen recently Carnival and Norwegian ships make this similar move, so none of this is really out of the ordinary. The revamped Explorer of the Seas is set to resume sailing on June 15th with a 9-night Greek Isles cruise from Barcelona, offering guests an enhanced gaming experience alongside its existing amenities. I don't know. It's a European cruise. Are they going to need all that space? I guess only time will tell. In our second Royal update, you guys are going to see a trend. A lot of these news stories are about Royal Caribbean. So Royal Caribbean has named music legend Diana Ross as the godmother of its newest ship, Star of the Seas. Now, this is the second Icon-class vessel. It's set to debut in August of this year from Port Canaveral, Florida. The announcement was made at a special event in New York City where Ross, Grammy award-winning icon, you'll remember some of her hits like Ain't No Mountain High Enough, Ross expressed her excitement for the role, which includes christening the ship and blessing its crew and passengers. Star of the Seas will feature 8 unique neighborhoods, 6 water slides, and over 40 dining and entertainment options, offering 7-night Eastern and Western Caribbean itineraries. Ross joins other high-profile godmothers, emphasizing Royal Caribbean's tradition of selecting influential figures for this ceremonial honor. I always think it's interesting how some of the people chosen to be godmothers are older, like icons like Diana Ross, while others are very currently popular. Our third royal news story may upset some cruisers. Royal Caribbean has canceled stops at Skagway, Alaska for multiple cruises on Ovation of the Seas and Quantum of the Seas during this 2025 Alaska season. Now, it's being replaced with visits to Sitka, Alaska. The change affects 9 sailings through September of this year, with impacted guests notified via email. The decision stems from logistical adjustments, though specific reasons weren't disclosed. I'm always a little suspicious when things are changed so last minute. I feel like these ports know how much space they have, and so when a cruise line is supposed to go to a port and then that gets changed, maybe I just don't understand what's going on the back end, but when it happens last minute, that to me seems a little odd. Anyway, both ships are part of the Quantum class, and they're going to continue their 7-night Alaska itineraries from Seattle and Vancouver, featuring ports like Juneau, Ketchikan, and Icy Strait Point. Royal Caribbean emphasized that the revised itineraries maintain a robust Alaskan experience, with Sitka offering rich cultural and natural attractions for guests. Now, would you be disappointed in the port change? The only downside I really see is having to try to book a last-minute excursion for Sitka, but let me know what your thoughts are. Now, it's happened again after multiple incidences of overbooking that occurred last year. Royal Caribbean's Adventure of the Seas has been overbooked for a 6-night Western Caribbean cruise that left out yesterday from Port Canaveral, Florida. The cruise line offered guests two options to resolve the issue. The first allowed passengers to switch to one of 4 alternative 2025 sailings in June or July, including 3 of them that were longer cruises, with a 50% refund of the original fare and a $300 non-refundable onboard credit. So the second option was a full refund plus 100% future cruise credit for any sailing prior to June of 26. So this marks another in a series of Royal Caribbean's overbookings, raising questions about inventory management, as similar issues also have hit Allure, Navigator, and Liberty of the Seas this year. We see overbooking in flights all the time, but there has never been an acknowledgement from Royal Caribbean that this is intentional. At one point, I do believe I remember them claiming that there was a glitch in their online booking system. However, I find it hard to believe that this isn't intentional. If it is, that's a pretty poor way to do business, especially if you are in the vacation business. Cruisers have to have their cruises paid off several months prior to sail date. This gives the lines time to put sails on any cabins that might be left over. I have a feeling Royal is overselling guaranteed cabins based on some algorithm that has determined how many guests will not make that final payment. Maybe I'm wrong, but if they are doing that, it must work in their favor the majority of the time because these compensations are costing the line quite a bit. Well, we're ending on a high note this week. On June 3rd, a 30-year-old crew member from Costa Cruises, Costa Deliciosa, not to be confused with Deliciosa, was rescued after falling overboard in the port of Crete in Greece. And this occurred while the ship was docked. The incident sparked immediate action from fellow crew members who followed emergency protocols, keeping the woman in sight, throwing her a life vest, life ring, and alerting the Hellenic Coast Guard. So multiple patrol units and a rescue boat were deployed, and the crew member was quickly retrieved from the waters, conscious, and later medically evaluated. The circumstances of the fall remain unclear, with an investigation ongoing. Now, according to the Cruise Lines International Association, CLIA, only 212 people went overboard in the 10-year period between 2009 and 2019, with just 28% being successfully rescued. Now, this highlights the rarity and danger of such incidents. The quick response in port, along with the fact that the ship was not moving, likely contributed to this fortunate outcome. There's a huge difference between somebody going overboard at 2 in the morning on a ship that is going full steam ahead to the next port in the middle of the ocean than someone going overboard while the ship is docked at a port where emergency services are likely to be close by. We received an email from Princess Cruises saying that our British Isles cruise, which is in next year, 2026, had an itinerary change. I was apprehensive about opening it because I wasn't sure how disappointed I was going to be by the change. So when we had an itinerary change for our Norway cruise, we ended up having to change sail dates because they had changed the 2 ports I had actually booked the cruise for. Now, I wasn't worried about our British Isles cruise because there wasn't really any port I would be devastated to miss. Maybe 1 or 2 I'd be disappointed about. Like, I really do want to go and see Inverness, so I would be a little bit disappointed about that. However, when I opened the email, I found out that no ports had been changed at all. They'd actually added a port day. Now we're down to just 2 sea days on 11-day cruise. So maybe that's a benefit. I don't know. We're probably going to be very wiped out if it's just port day, port day, port day, port day. But I'm still looking forward to it. Huge. This is a big bucket list cruise for me. Well, it's been a while, but my nieces and I finally got to have a girls' trip this past Friday. This is something we have done for years. Usually we head off to flea markets and antique stores, and of course, a stop off for lunch, somewhere we usually wouldn't normally eat at. Got to get some kind of special out of the day. We always have a great time finding treasures and making fun of all the weird stuff that people try to sell in their flea market booths. That's always fun. Of course, we always have to check out the Pyrex, see how much it's selling for, and talk about which patterns we like. We like to look at that base collection that's all the colors with the red bowl, green, blue, yellow. Sometimes there's an orange bowl in there. Depends. We always like to look at that if we find a full collection and make a guess, like how much do you think they're asking for it. I got mine back when they were like $80 for a full set, and that was probably 2 decades ago. They were $130 this week at some of the spots. I mean, that's a lot, but you just know they're just going to continue to go up. I collect the turquoise Amish butter print, which was produced from 1957 to 68, and it's one of the rarer prints. While I do see it every once in a while, you usually don't see a lot of full sets. Now, I have full and partial sets of the mixing bowls. That's because I broke a mixing bowl. I have the Cinderella bowls, got a full set of those. And I have a full set of the refrigerator dishes along with a partial set. I'm missing the big one on one of the sets. Now, I'm still looking for the casserole dishes. I saw them one time, and I'm so stupid. I finally fixed this problem, but I couldn't remember what I did and didn't have, and I thought I didn't have the refrigerator dishes, so I bought the refrigerator dish set. That's kind of hard to say. I bought the refrigerator dish set, and I should have bought the casserole dishes, because when I got home and unpacked it, I was like, oh, I already have the refrigerator dishes. Oh, well, c'est la vie. But to be fair, I don't think I had a full set of the refrigerator dishes, so now I do. We did get a few treasures from the day. I bought a Pyrex loaf pan. Now, it isn't my collector print, but it will come in handy for cooking meatloaf, and I got it for a steal. My niece found a Martha Stewart pan for only $3. This is a high-quality, heavy pan, and it looks new. Those are expensive. Well, have you ever gotten a deal at a flea market or antique store? I want to know about the best deal you ever found. Also, did you know that the term flea market literally comes from the French term translated into market of fleas? It refers to the belief that secondhand items might carry fleas. Now, my middle niece asked if it had anything to do with actual fleas, and while I didn't think so, once I looked it up, I found out she was right. I just assumed it had to have some other origin, because why would people keep the term and then put it in 5-foot-tall letters on the side of a building if it has a negative connotation? Anyway, it was a great day. Well, are you ready for more information on cruising? Why not stick around and check out this video and then come back for more information designed to help you have an amazing cruise. Have a blessed week, everyone.